From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Our top story, bail has been set at $3,000 for a Nulato woman charged with assault today at the Fairbanks courthouse.
26-year-old Christine Akata faces assault 2 charges for the allegedly stabbing another woman with a fork early Thursday morning. Both parties had been drinking, and the 57-year-old victim suffered scrapes and contusions on her cheeks and forehead. Akata told authorities the stabbing had been in self-defense and she had bruising from the incident.
The Fairbanks School Board withdrew into executive session to discuss the possibility of litigation against the district for conduct by former school district employee Claude Folks, who was convicted last year of sexual abuse of a minor. The school district received a correspondence letter from a law firm representing a former student of the district. The firm wrote that it was retained to pursue a civil claim against the district and Folks for any alleged abuse that occurred after the student was no longer in the district. The time of the alleged abuse by Folks was in 2010. Now, last year, Folks was convicted of raping a boy as he was moving into an apartment during that time. Assistant Attorney Jill Dolan says the abuse alleged by the law firm took place away from school grounds.
The district will investigate the claim and pursue any defenses available to it. At this point, it's just a communication from a firm. There has been no court case filed.
The Fairbanks Board of Education Legislative Committee met today to discuss strategies that would foster support from the state legislators as they deal with the fiscal crisis. Committee members agreed that sending a representative for the school district to Juneau would be a good investment. School Board President Heidi Haas recommended Board Vice President Lisa Gentry to lobby at the second regular session, which starts on the 19th this month. Board member Sue Hull, also on the committee, says she thinks budget cuts to the school district statewide are inevitable due to Governor Bill Walker's proposed fiscal budget. Hull is likely to join Gentry in Juneau to, quote, show her the ropes. Hull adds that working with the Alaska legislator on the floor would do more for the district as opposed to asking for more state funds.
Our #1 budget priority is class size, keeping class size low, and the strategic plan that the board has put in place to move forward instruction, do the right things for kids, no matter what the fiscal situation. And then our #1 our capital priority is the Barnett Magnet School. But we know that the state's facing a significant fiscal shortfall, and we've got to figure out ways to come alongside and to be helpful and at the same time do the right things for kids.
The PFD Voter Registration Ballot Initiative Group today announces that after 4 months of gathering signatures across Alaska, the campaign will submit more than 42,000 signatures to the Division of Elections this coming Thursday. In order for PFD voter registration to appear on the ballot in 2016, the campaign is responsible for submitting 28,000 signatures from registered Alaskan voters to the Lieutenant Governor before the start of the 2016 legislative session on January 19th. Today's release says the group will submit 125% of the needed signatures. It's a ballot initiative that would synchronize voter registration with the permanent fund dividend application process. According to the release, PFD voter registration is projected to register as many as 70,000 Alaskans to vote in year 1 and would fix out-of-date registration for tens of thousands more. All right, when we come back, a proposal from an Anchorage senator would increase the state minimum wage to $15 an hour. We'll have the details on that.
Also, UA President Jim Johnson will deliver his State of the University address tomorrow. Those stories and more when we return. Stay with us.
And welcome back. An Anchorage Democratic senator is proposing that the state increase its minimum wage to $15 an hour. The proposal is included in legislation from Senator Johnny Ellis. The bill also calls for an annual report on pay practices in Alaska. It was released Friday in wave of measures filed ahead of the upcoming legislative session. Voters in 2014 approved increasing Alaska's minimum wage from $7.75 an hour. Now, under the initiative, the minimum wage rose to $8.75 an hour last year and to $9.75 an hour as of January 1st. The increase proposed in the bill, if approved, would take effect January 1st of 2017. That would make Alaska's minimum wage the highest among states, according to a review of scheduled wage increases compiled by the National Conference of State Legislatures.
The University of Alaska President Jim Johnson is delivering his State of the University address tomorrow at the Margaret Murray Auditorium. Johnson will be addressing fiscal challenges with the University of Alaska and his ideas for the years ahead. This announcement will go over the strengths of the university, including academics, research, and working to meet Alaska's needs. The event will start at 7 p.m. and is open to students, staff, faculty, alumni, and members of the public. Admission is free.
President Johnson will be addressing a wide range of topics, mostly the types of fiscal challenges that not only we are facing as a university, but also the state is facing, and to acknowledge those and certainly work together to resolve and face those challenges.
A team of electronics students in Fairbanks are ramping up efforts to win the nationwide Verizon Innovative App Challenge. This is after they secured a win for the statewide portion of the competition for Lathrop High School. Reporter Ryan Grimes has the story.
5 students managed to procure a $5,000 grant for Lathrop High School and computer tablets for themselves for their app idea submitted in the Verizon Innovative App Challenge, but the full challenge is not yet complete.
Have you ever wondered what is inside your phone, calculator, or computer?
The app, called Learning Electronics Digitally, or LED, is essentially a teaching tool for students that wouldn't have the capability for hands-on learning about electronics and technology.
We have a virtual lab for actually kind of experimenting with parts and wires, and then another section of reference material for resistor color codes, and then we have another section for communication between students and teachers and students.
Fish and his teammates completed a 30-second commercial for the national portion of the competition. Their guide and teacher, Chris Benshoff, says they are going above and beyond for themselves and for their high school. He adds that he is not surprised.
But these are kids that have done 3 years of engineering classes and AP Computer Science and AP Stats and AP Physics and AP Bio and AP Chemistry. They really know what they're doing, so they're kind of some of the best science and math students we have.
The recent success of the state portion of the Verizon Innovative App Challenge drew in local Verizon representatives who wanted to see how the student innovators would make their app. Fish says he hopes the added attention will help his team win the challenge and subsequently allow them to make their app a reality. The national team that gets the most votes from the public wins as a fan favorite. Voting for Verizon Innovative App Challenge teams starts now and runs through the end of the month.
You can vote for us by texting digital app 2, all caps, no spaces, to 22333, and that'll submit a vote through Power Poll, so it's through text message. And once they vote enough, then Verizon will see that everyone likes our idea, and then hopefully they'll give us enough money to actually produce the app. So right now we have the design and how we're going to make it, and with the $15,000 we'll get the expertise from experts from MIT to help us actually build it.
This is Ryan Grimes reporting.
And we want to officially welcome Sarah Dubowski to the news desk. You did a great job. Nothing burned down, so everything was good.
I know, I'm glad nothing burned down.
Very good, of course, because it's a small studio. All right, Joe Cook is up next with some of the big local sports stories and the weekend recap.
Plus, we'll have a new I-5 coming up after the break.
Hello Interior Alaska, Joe Cook here with a loaded weekend recap this Monday night. But first, the Copper Basin 300 finished this morning. A young musher from Eagle came in first place. 23-year-old Matt Hall came across the Glen Allen finish line at 9:43 this morning to win the Copper Basin 300, which is a Yukon Quest and Iditarod qualifier. He finished with 9 dogs and won by just 17 minutes. Last year, he placed 7th. Ryan Olson was the runner-up, and she improved from last year's 3rd place finish. Alan Moore and Ali Zirkle were 3rd and 4th, while Nicholas Pettit rounds out the top 5 for that event. After a huge 6-3 win on Friday night in Game 1, the Negs were thinking about sweeping the Alabama Huntsville Chargers on Saturday night. Not so fast. UAH broke out with 2 goals in the first 7 minutes of the game, and UAF couldn't quite answer. The Chargers win 3-1, led by Josh Ketzner's 2 goals. Former Ice Dog Hans Gorowski had an assist in the game. Colton Sparrow scored the lone goal for Alaska in the 3rd period to prevent the shutout. The Nooks, who are 4-10-4 in the conference, pick up points, and they are tied for 8th in the WCHA with UAA. Alaska will stay on the road visiting Northern Michigan this weekend. In GNAC hoops, the UF men's basketball team put forth their best defensive effort of the season. Saturday, they bounced back from Thursday night's overtime loss to Western Washington with a 73-56 win over Simon Fraser. That's the fewest points the Nooks have allowed all season. Javonte Williams finished with a game-high 21 points, tied a career high with 15 rebounds, and had a career-high 8 assists, 2 away from a triple-double. He also had a couple blocks and a few steals. Big Almir Hadjisevich added 15 points and 8 boards. Alaska is now 11-3 and 5-1 in the GNAC, tied for second with number 13 Western Oregon. The Nooks host MSUB this Thursday night. The UAF women's basketball team picked up their first conference wins of the season over the weekend. After defeating Concordia on Thursday, Alaska rolled to a 75-55 win over Western Oregon. The Nanooks forced 25 turnovers and led by as much as 26. Jordan Wilson was Jordan-like with a game-high 25 points, 5 rebounds, and a career-high 6 steals. She also set a career best with 14 straight double-digit scoring games. To do everything forward, Kaylee Joel added 18 points and led the team with 7 assists. Rookie Valdez product Marion Wamsley scored a career-high 8 points to go along with 5 boards in the win. Alaska is now 7-9 and 2-4 in the GNAC. They will travel to NNU this week.
We were able to come out in the third and really just hold them, and I was really impressed with that. You know, they had 41 points, I think, for 13-14 minutes of the second half, but it's always a great day when your first 5 are on the bench at the end of a game and not because of foul trouble. So I'm really pleased with Jordan and Kaylee's presence this past 2 games. They really took ownership and leadership, and we need that from them in order to win.
And after Saturday night's win over the Johnstown Tomahawks, the Fairbanks Ice Dogs are finally coming home. Saturday night, they ended their 11-game road trip with a 5-0 shutout of Johnstown. Gavin Naedo made 16 saves to earn his 4th shutout of the year. Reggie Lutz led Fairbanks with 2 goals, while Tyler Tomberlin and Jacob Streisberg added 2 assists. Fairbanks finished their road trip 9-1-1. How about that? The Ice Dogs are 26-5-3, and they will host the Springfield Junior Blues in the Big Dipper this weekend. And now we wrap up the weekend recap with another edition of the I-5 Interior Top 5 Plays. Starting us out at number 5, Monroe's Ryan Brantley hits 3 straight triples, part of his career-high 20 points to spark the Rams' comeback in a 56-42 win over Sitka at the Mount McKinley Bank Classic on Friday night. Number 4, West Valley Stasi Skorowski, smooth and sleek. Check him out as he calls his own number and scores in a 7-0 win over Lathrop on Friday night. At number 3, Daniel Hornbuckle of the West Valley Wolfpack goes off for a career-high 47 points in an 83-78 victory over the Mount Edgecombe Braves in the first round of the Alaska Prep Shootout in Anchorage on Thursday night. The number 2 plays from up on the hill. Javonte Williams is able to finish in transition for 2 of his career-high 35 points in a 99-100 overtime loss to the Western Washington Vikings on Thursday night. Coming in at number 1, Jordan Wilson scores a career-high 35 points on Thursday night to lead UAF to a 75-66 win over Concordia for their first conference win of the year. She was later named GNAC Player of the Week. To vote for the Play of the Week, click on your favorite play on the I-5 poll on webcenter11.com. You can also comment on the KTVF Facebook and YouTube post and at KTVF11 Sports on Twitter for your vote. The Play of the Week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that's it for sports tonight. We'll recap high school basketball and more on Tuesday. Your full weather forecast is coming up next, and as always, we'll catch you next time.
And welcome back to the broadcast. Mike Schultz is out all this week on vacation, and so I will be happy to take you through the weather. So let's get started with our almanac. Our recent high was 24 degrees today. Our recent low, overnight low, was -2. Record high set in 1940, 37 degrees. A record low of -59, 1906. Sunrise, sunset, 10:38, 3:23, giving us 4 hours and 45 minutes of daylight. Winds were at east 5 to 15 miles per hour today, so not too bad of a day for today. Could be worse. Let's take a look around the state. As you can see, Fort Yukon, 9 degrees today. Barrow, -2. And on the west coast, 22 for Nome and 26 for Bethel, making it a great day for them. Cold Bay, 31 degrees. And Anchorage seeing some snow today, a little bit over the freezing temperature, 34 degrees. Kodiak, 37. And on that Panhandle, Juneau checking in at 40 degrees today. Light rain and snow mix, 43 as well for Ketchikan. Not a bad day all around. Let's take a look down at the lower 48 and see what we can see as we slide in there. Of course, there is a system off of the Pacific Northwest affecting Washington and Oregon and all those states there on the western side of things. Billings, Montana, 36 degrees today. Not too terrible, and I would love to be in Denver right about now. Some great skiing going on with 40-degree temperatures. Otherwise, pretty normal throughout the rest of the U.S. Dallas checking in at 50 degrees today on the East Coast. New York seeing some flurries, 36 degrees. D.C., 41 degrees. Miami, wow, rare system for them right now, 72 degrees. Nice and warm down there, but certainly wet as they had some overcast systems today. Okay, let's take a look at what we can see for the forecast. As you can see, just a nominal weather pattern moving across the Midwest to the eastern states, followed by some isolated thunderstorms in Florida. But other than that, pretty dry in the southwest states, and LA looking pretty nice as well. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Kids Weather Watch today. It is time for Kids and Weather, and last Friday, because of technical problems, we were not able to show the kids from Salcha Elementary. However, tonight, we are happy to present the kids and their teacher.
Hello, my name is Miss McGee, and this is my 4th, 5th grade class here at Salcha Elementary, and we have a weather fact to share with you. Class, did you know that the largest snowflakes ever measured were in Fort Keogh, Montana in 1887? They were said to be the size of small pizzas.
All right, thank you kids and teacher, that was awesome, and sorry about the technical difficulties on Friday. Thank you to Mount McKinley Bank, 50 years of providing excellent service in the community. Let's go ahead and turn and say Mike will return next Monday, and he will welcome the 3rd grade class from Tickassook Brown Elementary School. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at forecast for the northern part of the state. Flurries and fog for Barrow, mostly cloudy for Nome, and advisories for Fort Yukon, wind advisories that is. Nome, 30 degrees, not bad for them, but for Yukon, brace yourself. Okay, in the interior, Fairbanks, 23 degrees, Healy, 44, and also in Delta, some wind advisory there as well. Let's take a look now to the Panhandle and Juneau and Ketchikan, 38 degrees, 46, rain and patchy fog for both of those cities as well. As we take a look at the southwest and see what we can see, well, mixed bag of weather, like Mike always says, 32 degrees for Bethel, Cold Bay checking in at 35 for tomorrow, and then Kodiak, 42 degrees and some rain showers. Okay, let's go take a look down in lower Anchorage area, 37 degrees. Wind advisory is there as well. Homer, 42 degrees, rain snow mix, and Valdez as well, 37 degrees, rain and snow mix. All right, here we go. This is what you wanted to know. Short range forecast for Fairbanks and the outlying areas. 3 degrees for an overnight low, mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the night, and then tomorrow 9 degrees above, continued cloudy with occasional snow flurries. Checking into our long range forecast, and you can see this weather trend is going to continue. Really nothing on the radar for long term as far as cold is concerned. We're just going to breeze right through the rest of January in the mid-teens to overnight lows just in the single digits.
I'll take it.
Not bad. I mean, seriously, this time of year we could be 50 below, 60 below easily, so not too terrible. Yes. All right, very good, guys. Well, welcome, Sarah.
Yeah, welcome, Sarah. Nice to have you on board.
And of course, Mike is not here, but we'll have the whole gang here next Monday. So
yeah, most definitely.
It's awesome to be here.
Very good, very good. All right, that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, there's a major wake-up for the Hillary Clinton campaign as the Iowa elections loom. That's next with Lester Holt.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
All right, from all of us here at the News Center, have a great night.